So hi, I'm Umair, and we are on another episode of Better Tech. And today we have Nichole with us. Is it Nichole or Nicholas?
Nichole.
It's
Yep.
Nichole. So
Nichole Mace.
we have Nichole.
Yep.
Yeah, we have Nichole with us, and she works at Pendo. And we'll try to hear the story of Pendo as well as Nichole and figure out what great stuff these guys are doing. So welcome on the show.
Thank you, Umair. I'm really, really thrilled to be here. It's such a treat and excited to be able to chat growth.
All right, wonderful. So Nichole, why don't you take initial few minutes and tell us about yourself, your history, your career growth, and how you ended up at Pando, and what your goals are here.
Yeah, sure. So I've been in product management, I think my entire life, it feels like. I've worked at many SaaS companies, including Constant Contact, a bunch of startups, a Zipcar. LastPass was my most recent company where I headed up product-led growth and end user experience. And now I'm at Pendo, and I started the growth team there last year. So really having a great time with it. I was a user of Pendo before and just, completely fell in love with Pendo. As someone who spends a lot of time on product-led growth, Pendo is that product that allows you to deliver an amazing experience. So I was really excited when I was able to move forward with the opportunity with Pendo, and we've had a good time. It's been quite a ride already, and there's more fun to be had for sure.
Great. So we'll come to Pando. We're talking about a little bit about you first. So you have been in the product and product management role for quite some time, and I typically tell a lot of people who work with me, or some of my customers as well, that the biggest risk for any project or any product to typically what I've seen that push them towards the failure is the lack of a product management or a product ownership team. So why don't you take a little bit of time and help also understand what is the difference between a product manager, product owner. As a product manager, what are your responsibilities and how you keep different stakeholders aligned? And then we'll come to the second part of the question, which is what is really product-led growth, PLG, and how it's right now changing, and some of your thoughts about it before moving on to talking about Pando.
Yeah.
So first question, different aspects of a product team, product manager versus product owner. What are the roles and responsibilities, and why they are the key people?
Right. No, I think it's a great question. And often it's one person who's the product manager and the product owner. I've seen and experienced both. Ultimately, that product manager is the CEO of the product. So, when something goes wrong, they are the ones that need to address it. When something goes right, they're the ones who, sort of manage the celebration, but really making those tough decisions, outlining a product strategy, and really working with the team to execute and prioritize what they believe will have the biggest impact on the customers and the business. So it's really marrying the business goals of the organization with the product that you're trying to deliver. So that is really the ultimate goal of the product manager. The product owner is, when those roles are separated, is typically much more involved with the engineering team to execute on that strategy. And then as a product owner, you're constantly making micro decisions around prioritization and make sure that you're in sync with the vision of the product manager. So, I've seen sometimes where you have a product manager and there might be then multiple product owners working with different teams all under a product manager for a particular product. I've also seen one-to-one, one product manager, one product owner. And then, like I said, sometimes it's just a single person, it's a single person.
So as a product manager, is it your job to really align sales, marketing, engineering, the C-suite together, making sure that you understand all the various stakeholders and create a backlog or prioritize or something, or a product strategy. I mean, both from the marketing endpoint, sales endpoint, the vision endpoint, the investor endpoint, and the engineering team endpoint, and put that in motion through product owners. So you are the one who does that?
Yeah, I would say in a typical product management role, the focus is definitely on the product, certainly working with product marketing to make sure that you're delivering, you know, along sort of the vision and your strategy meets the needs of the market. As far as coordinating with sales, I mean, I think that really depends on your level, right? So the level of that product manager and their coordination across the organization changes depending on the seniority of that product manager. You might be a product that has, 100 people working on it, or you might be a product where you have 8 people working on it, right? So it really kind of changes, and the size of the company has an impact as well. But you have to have those cross-functional skills and really care and be focused on that user experience. So roll up your sleeves, listening to the customer interviews, usability, etc. But really have that full picture of what does the company need, what does the customer need, where is your product, and what's your strategy, and get alignment across the organization.
Yeah, sounds good. And these days, a lot of time now, I mean, we are all in the era of product-led growth, or PLG, as they call it. So what really essentially is PLG, and what is the role of a product manager like yourself into that?
Yeah. So product-led growth really is using your product as the go-to-market strategy. So what does that mean? That means that users can come in and experience a free offering. They have this aha experience. They come in, and within a short amount of time, they realize this product is amazing, and they're willing to put more effort into it. They're able to onboard on their own. Likely there's a lot of self-serve tools in place. In an ideal world, they can pay on their own. But it really is your product becomes the way that you're growing your business. There's a heavy virality component to it, where your customers are inviting other customers, whether they're in the organization or outside, to be part of your product. You have a referral program, but you're really growing your business through your product. And for product growth is relatively new, I would say. And, many of us product folks have worked for years on the edge, or effectively in product growth, right? Focused on onboarding, focused on that new user experience. What do you need to do to get them in to be productive? Years ago with email at Constant Contact, it was like, all we need to do is get them to send that first test email. That is that aha moment. They'll receive it in their inbox and be really excited. So how do you optimize that? How do you personalize that experience so it makes sense to them? So there's sort of this new category. Is it really new work? I don't think it's really new work. It's just more of a category around product growth. And there's more of a framework, and there's a lot more support, a lot more ideas. You can learn from others. So it's really a great time to be in product, and a great time to kind of have made that shift and spend a little bit more time in product growth.
Okay, sounds good. So tell us that what is Pendo, and how you're implementing this product-led growth at Pendo. I mean, let's start with what is really Pendo, what the product does, for whom it's used, who's your ICP, why it's a great product to use.
Yeah. So Pendo is really designed for a solution for product managers. So what it allows product managers to do is know who is in your product and what they're doing, like literally what is the usage, right? It allows you in a no-code way as a product manager to guide users to the right features, to create onboarding flows, to test and iterate. So for product managers, it's really a game changer, and that's kind of why I fell in love with it. But we also have all these other amazing features and products. We have a way to gather feedback. We have an NPS tool. We actually have a digital adoption tool that's actually completely separate that you can teach your employees how to use Pendo. My focus right now is very much on users, our engaged product, which allows users to understand, see the analytics, understand the usage, and then guide those users through the product with onboarding. So what is really unique about my role is it's very meta, as people say. It's Pendo on Pendo. I'm using Pendo for product-led growth for Pendo. So it's a lot of fun, and it's great to also have the ears of the product managers who are building the things I'm using to say, hey, what about this? Do you think you can help solve this problem for me? So
So it sounds to me it's like eating your own dog food first before you.
it is for
Right,
sure.
right. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about how when the company got founded, what's the user base? I mean, the funding rounds, where you are in terms of traction right now.
I mean, yeah, so honestly, I don't have all that at my fingertips. The company's been around, I think, for about 10 years. We're a little under 1,000 employees. We have very small companies as customers, and we have very, very large companies with multiple, like 100 apps, So we really span from a customer base standpoint, which is interesting. I think no matter how large the customer is, there's always an end user. So you always need to make it easy to use and a great experience. So that is kind of something that holds us together. The company was really founded on the principles of product-led, which is exciting. Todd Olson, our CEO, wrote a book called The Product-Led Organization. From the very beginning, the company was focused on, hey, how do we build in an experience where people can use it themselves? Trials were built in early. Sharing reporting was built in early, inviting others. So just those fundamentals have always been part of Pendo.
Okay, and when you say that you have big customers, you have small customers, so I'm assuming that, I mean, what I've gathered from you that if I'm building a product, let's say if I have an app or something, that within Pando I can really create kind of user flows, that how my users are going to use that product, how I collect feedback, how I need to create their journeys, or is it a right kind of summary for the Pando? Because I didn't think I completely picked that.
Yeah, so I think that's largely right. I mean, ultimately, what you can do is by installing a little snippet of code, you can suddenly not almost immediately, once you get that snippet in there, you can actually see how many users are coming in. What are they doing? You can tag easily as a product manager, non-technical user. You can tag features in your product, pages. So very quickly, you can see. You can create funnels, you can watch users go through, you can create experiments, you can do A/B tests, and then you have this no code functionality that we call guides that sit on top. So you could say as a product manager, I'm going to create an onboarding experience for people to click through. I'm going to drive users here. I'm going to give them the right information at the right time for many different personas. Different jobs to be done, and test and learn what messaging works, what buttons work. You can create fake buttons. We did one experiment where we created just a save a segment button at the top of the screen, and that was amazing. We just did that with Pendo. There was no code behind it. So Pendo allows you to just get in there and understand what your users are doing. What is your daily active and monthly active?
No, sorry about that. I didn't want to cut you off. But while you were saying, because we have used, I mean, I also did and exited a game development company, and we were using a lot of Firebase or analytics to figure out where the user are coming in, where they are dropping off, where the in-app purchases are not happening. So what you're telling me, it seems to me like kind of a Firebase is something like on steroids, where you can also add in kind of features to experiment, and also then in the real time get analytics. So it's analytics plus product kind of a modification thing that you can do with Pando, right?
For sure, for sure. And when you our Pendo also takes in data that you may have, like metadata that you have on that user. So if someone logs in, you may already know, Umair, on yours, that okay, we already know the role of this person. We already know how big their company is. So they're coming in with information that you may already have on them, but we're with a unique ID, we're able to track this user then based on usage. So then you can easily create segments, and I can say, okay, every customer, everyone that's in my product today who has over 100 employees, who clicked on this feature last week and then did this week, this is a segment, and I want to send them a coupon, or I want to send them to this new feature that I just released. And then let's see how many go there and what they do. So
You
it
can
adds
create
this like
cohorts.
layer control.
You can create cohorts and define actions on those that I want to do. Okay, all right, right.
That's
You
right.
mentioned
That's right.
there's a free version of Pando that everyone can use and experiment with that. So
Yes.
how limited or unlimited it is? I mean, if I have to use it, what can I do with that? And what I really
Yeah.
cannot do with that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So
yeah.
it is, I'm really excited about our free offering, because we continue to add value to it. So our free offering is free forever. So we do offer a trial with premium features, but the base level features that we offer are really significant. I mean, you can come in, you can have up to 500 monthly active users, which is kind of a lot.
Wow.
You can create guides, you can create different onboarding. There's no limit. So it really allows you to get going and test and learn with the core of Pendo just right away for free. You can do it on your own. So yeah, so I'm a big fan of free. As a PLG practitioner, I believe in getting in and trying it on your own, and we have a great offering to do that.
So you're a PLG practitioner. What are some really good statistics that one needs to understand if they are pushing PLG? So I mean, how many product free downloads or free trials should convert to
Yeah.
one and paying users? I mean, if you can tell us a few of the stats that you've gathered over the years or your experience.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think that there are some key things. So I think with growth, any kind of growth, it's easy to go all over the place, and
Yeah.
you need to have this like razor focus. Otherwise you won't move the needle, right? So identifying what are those I call them pillar metrics of your strategy are critically important. And what I'm finding is actually they're not different. They're not that different from company to company, right? So you always need a way to measure who's coming in, registrations, right? You're always kind of trying to optimize that. You're trying to optimize the users who come back if they don't come back in the second week, it doesn't matter. So there may be a better time. Maybe it's like day 2 that you look at, but you need some measure of, are they coming back? You need a measure of, are you converting them to pay? You have to have conversion. That's part of growth. And then lastly, but almost always forgotten, is virality, right? To make this really work, you have to create an experience where users are telling other users about your product, and that is how you are growing. So your customers are selling to other customers on your behalf in some capacity. So those are some really, really key metrics, I believe, that are super important to look at. I think, conversion rate, everyone says, oh, what's your conversion rate? And I think it's important to clarify conversion rate today, because people just throw out, oh, it's 10%, it's 20%. Well, it depends, right? So if you're capturing a credit card up front, The people then who make it through and provide a credit card and buy, there's data, people have like 50, upwards of 50%. That sounds amazing, but they're putting in a credit card, a massive gate up front, right? If you have a free forever product, your conversion is going to be a little lower. There's no like
Absolutely.
strong incentive, right? If you have a trial and it ends in 30 days and then they're shut out, you're going to have a higher conversion, right? It used to be you could get up to 20, 25% with like a 14, 30-day trial. I think today, when I look at all the numbers, even our numbers, you're more like, in the 5 to 10% kind of conversion rate out of a self-serve trial. So yeah, those
I'm, by the
are
way,
the numbers.
all up for these self-serve, low hindrance trials where you do not capture credit cards and you do not shut them out. Because you're absolutely right. If you are asking for a credit card and someone is really giving you their credit card, eventually you're going to, they've already made like 50% of their mind to actually buy your product. So yeah, you're absolutely right. So yeah, I think I'll agree with you that one of the very important components of PLG is really, while you're giving out a product, the barrier to entry and using that product should be very low so that people can really experience it. And then you should have enough in the product to convert them to higher level features or a paying customer. So wonderful, wonderful. Any kind of suggestion or advice you can want to give around PLG or budding product people, how to build their career? And by the way, we have seen freemiums before, then premiums, and then now PLGs. As a product person, what do you see the next wave of product growth tactics or that you think people will use in the next 2-3 years?
Yeah, we're in a really exciting time with things like Chat GPT, right? That is coming our way, and it's many of us already have it in our organizations, but more and more and more, it's going to be a tool for product managers, right? It's not going to be this like mythical thing, like, hey, I have an idea, and 3 years later, you get some results out of it, right? So that is super exciting. I think when Google says code red, it's code red. Wake up, product
It's so
managers.
red,
This is
yeah.
all coming our way, and I
Yeah.
think it's on us to think about our roadmaps and think about what we're doing and say, how can I incorporate machine learning into what I'm doing, and how can I up level my end user experience and my business? And now, if the case hasn't been made to the C-suite about what I can do with this, I need to do that now, right? There is going to be a break, I believe, in this dichotomy of the products that have taken and run with machine learning and those that have done nothing, right? So, I think we all know which side you want to be on
Yeah,
with that.
absolutely. It's, to me, this all just Chat GPT and machine learning now. I think to me, it's very similar to moving from, as that advent of industrial age where you are moving from humans to adding robots into the process. And initially, everyone would think that all the jobs would be gone, but humans are capable of doing more smarter things. So similarly, I guess the people who are right now afraid of Chat GPT or something like the basic content jobs will be gone, et cetera, et cetera. There will be exciting things that you can really do with such a kind of a power into that. And I'm totally with you that we all know that which side we need to be on, and with this GPT. Yeah. So I think it's all wonderful. So any parting comments on Pando or something you want to share before I let you go? I think it's a wonderful discussion already.
No, thank you. No, it's been a lot of fun. I guess I would just leave you with, PLG is a lot of fun. The people who are involved in it love it. And if you're thinking about it, what's really holding you back, right? As product people, to me, it is sort of the height of good product. If you don't have good product, your product is not going to work for PLG. But so how can you make your product better? How can you solve that problem? So I encourage you to give it a try. You know, you can take baby steps. You can fake it till you make it. You know, Pendo is a great tool to fake it till you make it with PLG. You can try a lot of different things. So yeah, give it a go. Don't be afraid.
Okay, thank you very much, Nichole, for sharing all your thoughts. I think I really enjoyed our discussion. We get to learn a lot about PLG as well as Pendo, and all the best wishes for Pendo and your personal career as well. I think you guys are doing some great work, and you are a wonderful ambassador of PLG. So thank you very much for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Umair. I'm really, really excited to have the conversation and get to know you. All right, take care.